We also find that the tribes of Dan and Ephraim are omitted from the list. Both of these tribes were guilty of leading the nation into idolatry. In history, you will find that Dan was the first tribe that fell into idolatry. See Jude 18 and verse 30. The tribe of Dan later on became the headquarters for calf worship, whereby Jerome made Israel to sin. Jeroboam made Israel to sin. See 1 Kings chapter 12, verse 28 through 30. That Dan is given top priority in the millennial. See Ezekiel 48 reveals that, and Daryl has this underscored, the grace of God can reach down and meet the needs of many sinners. The tribe of Dan is in the millennium, but they are not sealed for the purpose of witnessing during the time of the Great Tribulation. I think that the tribe lost out a great deal. Ephraim was also guilty of idolatry. Hosea chapter 4 and verse 17, we read, Ephraim is joined in idols, let him alone. And that was reference to the entire northern kingdom of Israel. But remember that Ephraim was the leader there. Also, Ephraim was the tribe which led in the division of the kingdoms. The First Kings chapter 11 and verse 26. In the list of the 144,000, who will be sealed. Joseph takes the place of Ephraim. And to take the place of Dan is Levi. Levi was the priestly tribe, and they are going to be witnesses in the Great Tribulation period, which is quite proper. I trust that we can understand and see that God has now turned again to the nation of Israel. He has not given them up. He said, how shall I give thee up, Ephraim? In Hosea chapter 11 and verse 8. In other words, God said, I can do it. And God didn't give them up. They are going to make it through the Great Tribulation period, even though they will lose out as witnesses for God during this period. Now, there's this section, these next two paragraphs in the radio program, they come after verse 12. But here I'm going to put them here because I guess he realized they go here rather than there. And where he wrote the commentary, because commentary came after the radio program. The Old Testament is filled with prophecy that God has given to these people, that they are to be a nation forever and that they are to be in the land of Israel forever. If you come to the New Testament and write Israel off as having disappeared and that God is through with them, you have to contradict the whole tenor and tone of the Old Testament. I have said that the book of Revelation is like a great nation's union station or an airport where trains or planes come in from everywhere. All the major themes of prophecy come into Revelation. Therefore, and Darrow underscores this, you would certainly expect Israel to be here in the book of Revelations, and lo and behold, here it is. Israel means Israel. Darrell has this underscored. If God had wanted to call Israel the church, I think he would have just said church, because he was able to say church when the time came. But now the church is not mentioned anymore, and Darrell underscores this, is talking about Israel, and the 144,000 are are sealed to witness for him. The 144,000 are sealed especially because they are going to witness during this period, and it is going to cost them a great deal. If they are not sealed, they sure wouldn't be able to make it through. God never leaves himself without a witness upon the earth. It's going to cost them. It costs you a great deal to worship the Lord. That's why that you have to, unless you're in the hospital, dead, or in jail, you need to be in church. And so there's no excuse otherwise.